to be amongst galaxy of friends from the travel trade and hospitality sector, and young students, budding future hospitality sectors which will be taken up by them in the tourism trade also. It's very nice to see that Curiosity Mag, Trap Mag, with which Indian Tourism Office was associated for quite some time. We had been giving quite a few of our articles and also advertisements in this particular magazine, that they have come up with this good idea along with IIHM to have this conference on sustainable tourism, international conference, first of its kind in this global campus. I'm really very happy to know about it, because today the world scenario in tourism, sustainable tourism is the need of the hour. We have been talking about mass tourism, foreign tourist arrivals, domestic tourist visits. We were all interested in seeing that how many foreigners have come to our country, what has been the economic growth. Well, as you all know, tourism is one of the largest industry and one of the most important economic sector also, because one of its the reasons being the employment generation and also the economic growth. But then you see the footfalls, the carbon prints, etc., that the more and more tourists coming to a place, any destination for a matter. But there are certain countries which are totally dependent on tourism activity. Some of our states in India also are dependent totally on tourism. Nonetheless, the importance of tourism cannot be left behind. It is very, very important for us. But we have to see both the negative and the positive aspects of tourism. What has happened that, for instance, a small destination and you start getting visitors there, you'll find that there's a lot of impact on the local population there. Language, more people have come in, congestion, that affects the local population there. Migration of different people from different countries just for the sake of the tourist, that takes the toll on the local community. So what we feel through sustainable tourism, it is important that we protect and preserve our environment. Environment-wise, what I mean to say here, that it can be natural environment. For instance, the destinations that we have, it can be beaches, it can be forests, it can be man-built, it can be monuments, it can be heritage sites, it can be ruins. So we need to preserve and protect these places to see that they are there for our future generations also. We should not see that we take toll of the entire resources in this generation itself. And that can be done only through sustainable tourism. Not only that, the socio-economic, socio and cultural aspects also. We have to involve the community, the local inhabitants of a particular region. Their involvement in tourism is very, very important. People coming from any country into our country, they need to be sensitized, they need to be briefed, they need to be informed that what is our culture, what is the culture of the country where they are going. And they should respect that country's culture, their traditions, their artifacts. Like you find many times in the temples of India, international travelers would like to go into their own formal dress or informal dress. That's not allowed. Or when you are going into a masjid or any particular place of worship, there are certain things, to do's and don'ts that needs to be followed. We can't stick there that why I am not being allowed. When I am dressed like this, I am a foreigner, I am a tourist. No. So the thing is that we should respect the local culture, the local tradition, local customs. That is very, very important. Community involvement will mean that tourism is not for just one section of people. It is for everybody. It is not one way around. There should be a linkage. Like for instance, suppose there is a foreign company coming up with a hotel in a small destination. The economic benefit, there will be leakage. The money will be sent to the other country from where that hotel has set up his property in that particular destination. We want that the economy should pass on to the local inhabitants also. So there should be linkage, not leakage. Social and economic benefits, this way we have to see. A lot of things are being done, from the Ministry of Tourism. A lot of efforts are being taken from Government of India. Earlier we were having offline approval system for hotels. In the hotel industry also we have come up with several things, and we have asked them to go green. We have asked them to come up with certain things which is very mandatory and which is very essential in today's world. For instance, we have asked them to have rainwater harvesting. All the hotels who are applying for 5-star, 4-star categorization by Ministry of Tourism, we have made it mandatory for them that they should have rainwater harvesting system in their hotel. They should have a sewage treatment plant. They should see that the consumption of power, the electricity bills, etc. We have asked them to have LED lamps, LED lights. These things will have. We need to conserve our resources. We need to see that these resources are continued for a longer time. That will be possible only if we think in terms of sustainable tourism. That is very, very important. Even for other sectors, we have found that the learning and the education of our generation, today's generation or the other coming generation, is very important. You will find that there are a lot of monuments in India where in several corners people have written Radha and Shyam. They scribble their names. So who is bothered about you? You let the monument be in proper shape. Let the future generations also know that there used to be, otherwise they will say that there used to be a Taj Mahal. We are having Taj Mahal, we have to see that wildlife, all the natural resources. Otherwise the way things are happening in the forest, she was talking about Amazon fire. The entire topography, entire flora, fauna gets disturbed. There are people who are going to the beaches, they go with their plastics, they go with their so many things and just leave it over there. That destroys the place. When they go for scuba diving in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the corals are affected. So we want tourists, but we want quality tourists. This is the time where we think of, otherwise it will be like you have a house of 3-room flat and you have 100 people coming to your house. It will be very difficult to accommodate that. There will be a lot of hustle and bustle. Everything will be in a chaos. So we want tourism, we want economy,